Hey, good morning. Welcome to Compass Daily. We're so glad that you're joining us today. My name is Brock. I'm one of the pastors here, and we're going to worship together, and we're also going to hear a message from one of our pastors. But before we do that, we're so excited about our Good Friday online experience. And again, this is an online-only experience where we're going to celebrate the death of Jesus and what he's done for us on the cross together through taking communion together and through worship. We're also going to hear a short message from Pastor Drew Sherman. This event online will go live at 8 a.m. and you can catch it on YouTube throughout the day as well. Would you join me as we go into a time of worship?
Restore these wild lands, capture this wild man. There's no escaping your love. There's no escaping your love. Overtaking like wildfire, reclaiming this wandering heart. Overtaken like wildfire, like wildfire. Restore, restore these wild lands, capture this wild man. There's no escaping your love. There's no escaping your love. Overtaking like wildfire, reclaiming this wandering heart. Overtaken like wildfire, like wildfire. Like wildfire, yeah. First life that springs from ashes. Here's my heart, take it all, you can have it. Let your glory fall like wildfire. Fresh life that springs from ashes. Here's my heart, take it all, you can have it. Let your glory fall like wildfire. Let your glory fall like wildfire. Overtaking like wildfire, reclaiming this wandering heart. Overtaken like wildfire, like wild. Overtake, we sing. Overtaken like wildfire, reclaiming this wandering heart. Overtaken like wildfire, like wildfire.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Compass Daily. My name is Nate. I'm one of the student pastors here at our Colleyville campus, and it is a huge blessing to be able to be here with you guys today. We've been working through the book of Mark as we're getting ready for Easter here at Compass. Today, we're going to be reading in Mark chapter 12, verse 41 to 44. So if you want to open up your phone, turn there now. Open up your Bible. I'm going to start reading, so you guys go ahead and follow along. Here's what it says. Verse 41. Jesus sat down near the collection box in the temple and watched as the crowds dropped in their money. Many rich people put in large amounts. Then a poor widow came and dropped in 2 small coins. Jesus called his disciples to him and he said this, "I tell you the truth, this poor widow has given more than all the others who are making contributions. For they have given a tiny part of their surplus, but she, poor as she is, has given everything that she has had to live on." You know, this is a passage on generosity. Our church actually just got done going through a series called Unstoppable, where we all made commitments to be generous with our time, our talents, and our treasure. And if you haven't made one of those commitments, I encourage you to pray about it and do that. I've read this passage so many times, and I've never really stopped and took in the weight of how generous this lady actually was and what made her generous. You know, it's interesting to me that Jesus stops and notices her. And it's almost as if he gives her this great compliment, as if she's a part of something greater than everybody else who is dropping money into the box. What set her apart from everybody else? What set her apart was that she was generous. She was recognized because of her generosity. A person first starts to live when he lives outside of himself. Albert Einstein said that. That's an awesome quote. We're first able to start really enjoying life when we're able to get to a point where we're living life outside of ourselves and we're living life in benefit of other people. There's 3 points that I want to burn through really quick this morning that are about generosity and how we can be generous and how we can change our perspective of what generosity is and how to live a more generous life. The first one is this: be a river, not a reservoir. Live to give and not to get. You know, a river is rushing, it's moving very quickly. What does it look like? What does your generosity look like with your time? I hear a lot of people, as a student pastor, I ask a lot of people for their time, to come spend time with students. And a lot of times there's a lot of reservation of like, I'm just not sure if I can really make it happen. Or, for me personally, I have someone that invites me to come help them do something at their home. And I'm really reserved at times to just give up my time. My time is very valuable. Time is probably one of the most valuable things that we have. What does your generosity look like with your time, your talents, and your treasures? Does it look like a river, or are you more reserved? The second point is this: be generous now. If you don't give what you have now, you won't give it when you have it. I have friends, and I myself has said something similar to this: the day that I get a lot of money, the day that I win the lottery, the day that I make $1 million is the day that I'm going to give all of that money away. And that's just not true. We're not going to do that. And the reason is because if we're not willing to give what we have now, we're not going to be willing to give when we actually have it. Because the truth of the matter is this, is that generosity has way less to do with money itself and way more to do with our attitudes. You can be generous, like generosity goes further than just money. I think that's why Pastor Drew teaches out of our time, our talents, and our treasure. How generous are you with your time right now? How generous are you with your treasures right now? How generous are you with your finances right now? Your gifting, how generous are you with that? I really believe that generosity has more to do with your attitude because of this, because I know people that have been very successful and they're incredibly generous. I also know people who are incredibly successful that are not generous at all. And on the flip side, I know people who are very, very humble, live humbly, and they're not very generous. They actually live more selfishly. Rich and poor people can be generous. Rich and poor people can be selfish, because generosity has more to do with your attitude than it has to do with money. And the third one is this: don't keep score. There was an awesome quote that I heard in a podcast the other day, and it says, "You've never lived unless you've given to someone more than what they could ever repay you." I've been on the receiving side of that. I've had a few people give to me in my life and be generous to me, not just with their finances, but with their time and with their talents. They've poured into me. They've invested in me and been very generous, to the point that there's no way in the world that I could ever give back. And to receive that blessing is absolutely amazing, and it's inspired me to do the same. Because when we keep score, when we're being generous, oftentimes we wind up in a pit of selfishness, of not wanting to give anymore, and our attitude gets bitter and we get sour, and we're like, I'm not going to give because they're not doing X, Y, and Z. They're not meeting my expectations. Don't keep score when you're being generous, because generosity is all about your attitude. And I really do think that in this story in Mark, what set this old lady apart when she gave 2 coins was that she had this attitude and this lifestyle of generosity. She wanted to give because she loved Jesus, because she loved God. She wanted to give because that's just what she felt convicted to do, not because she saw someone else giving, not because of whatever, but what set her apart, what put her in the realm of greatness was that she was willing to be generous. If you haven't made an unstoppable commitment today, I would encourage you that during this time, after this Compass Daily is over, pray about it. And maybe make one. And if you've already made one, pray about it and maybe consider changing it. And here's why. Because generosity is what helps us be a part of the greatness of God's kingdom. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope that was helpful. Take that for what it's worth. Love you guys, and we'll see you at our next Compass Daily.
Hey, thank you so much for watching with us today. We hope that it was encouraging. Just a reminder that our Easter services are right around the corner, and you can find all those service times at easter@compass.church. Have a great day.